My name is Mark Urwin. I'm the owner of 46 South Fish Company, and we distribute fish across Canada. We also own a prawn vessel, which we keep down in Gibsons. That prawn vessel is active during the months of May and June, and most of that is caught live, and we distribute that mostly in the Vancouver and to some of the restaurants across Canada. So my commercial fishing experience or background is from New Zealand, from a fifth generation family that's been involved in fishing and selling seafood since the 1800s down in New Zealand. And about 7 or 8 years ago, I ended up in Vancouver setting up my business 46 South. In my spare time, I was recreational fishing and just missed commercial fishing. I was, I hadn't been commercially fishing now for like 6 or 7 years and really wanted to get back into it. And through my recreational fishing experiences, I was like, I think prawning would be a good thing to get back into if I was going to do commercial fishing again. The main reasons being is I can be home at night times if I'm fishing locally. There aren't many local fishing or fisheries left in BC, and prawning is one of the ones you can still do from downtown Vancouver or Gibsons, and you don't have to travel 300 miles away to access your fishing grounds. So that appealed to me, having a couple of young kids. I wanted to get into something that also gave them an opportunity to get into fishing, like the opportunities I had back in New Zealand. I think the biggest challenges for young people is getting the fishery is definitely financial. There's opportunities, and this is the thing about, I guess, coming into the fishery fresh, is when you're listening to your father or your grandfather that's here saying, oh, I used to be like this back in my day. When you come in fresh, you see only the opportunities that remain. Sure, there's not as many opportunities that were there when, 20 years or 30 years ago, but there are other opportunities. Yes, there might be less fish, but the value of fish has gone up. I look at a friend and close colleague in the fishery, Fraser McDonald, who has built up a fleet of boats and started with his first boat and now has, I've lost count how many boats Fraser has now, but he's really building up a fleet of boats, and that's all like-minded young people. And when I sit around a fire with them, chatting, drinking a beer on the coast, a couple of years ago, I'm like, this is really inspirational. Like, when chatting with someone who's like got that same passion and drive, and they're not moaning about the past, they're looking at the opportunities going forward. I think that's really cool to recognize that, and I think that gives me a lot of hope and drive that young fishermen can succeed in this fishery. They just have to be a bit more creative than their forefathers.